daughter and I were coughing and having a dry throat, and it got worse and worse each night. We were just having breathing problems. The health concerns are what really motivated me to get him immediately out here.
And I found the duct systems in the house to be very leaky.
He said, well, Matt, your problem is in your ducting. Just replacing those and or repairing those leaks, that he could bring my house to a much more comfortable level and save me a lot of money.
At that point, we did a healthy house inspection, including duct testing, infrared camera, blower door testing.
It was really impressive. The equipment that they had, you knew they knew what they were doing. They came with an infrared camera. They showed me every wall, every ceiling surface, and it really makes a night and day difference. You can tell where the heat is coming from, where the cooling's coming from, and where your losses are. Had he not had that equipment, I don't know that I would have done all that work.
Having the proper equipment and knowing how to use it enabled us to find out exactly what the problems were that Matt had.
He showed me the numbers, showed me the amount of leakage I had, and said, now when we're done, this is how we measure it. When we're done, we'll measure it again and show you what the results are at the end. Had I not even saved any money on utility bills and just the health problem was solved, I would have been completely happy with just that alone.
The training brought us to look at the house as a system. The infiltration, the duct leaks, discomfort, the respiratory issues, all were a part of how the house operated as a system. So the training in and of itself was the key to the whole thing.
The CBPCA was formed to teach people how to take a whole house approach. Up to this point, everybody did their own trade and they didn't look at the overlap or the interactions between the elements. Our project is all about teaching people how to evaluate the various pieces that affect what they're doing. And historically, nobody's really looked at that. We know that consumers are very interested in saving energy, but more interested in health and safety and comfort.
I agree totally, and it's not unusual for a homeowner to suddenly realize that they've killed really two birds with one stone. They're suddenly more comfortable, as well as they're saving energy. And oftentimes, if they've had respiratory issues, those are alleviated as well.
In effect, I killed 3 birds with one stone. The comfort level was dramatically increased in my home, and while my PG&E bills were dramatically decreased, and the health problem being solved.
And without that training, we would have been looking at perhaps one issue alone. So the training in and of itself was the key to the whole thing.
Our training is really different than anything else out there right now because we do field work as well as classroom. There's 14 areas that we deal with. It's a 6-day training. What we want is to turn somebody out that can apply what they've learned in the field. The building science behind the healthy house inspection is really pretty simple. You know, hot goes to cold, high pressure goes to low pressure, wet goes to dry. These really simple elements, when put together, help us understand what's going on in a home. We go out into the field and we provide mentoring for our students, and we work with them one-to-one to apply the information that they've gotten from class.
It was embarrassing for me not to be able to answer people's questions about problems that they had, such as what Matt had here. And that prompted me really to begin investigating areas where I might learn. The training that I received from the California Building Performance Contractors Association literally pulled everything into the picture. I feel very confident that I'm able to solve issues that pretty much any homeowner might have.
The kind of work that Gary did is higher margin work. It's more valuable to him and the client. So it's a win-win. We're teaching contractors how to go to market differently. Contractors are out there chasing the low bid. Well, they can't do the job correctly for the low bid. They're stumbling over dollars to pick up quarters.
This program is not for everybody, and I think each one of us have individual goals. Some of those goals are monetary. Some of us have goals that tend to lead us towards being satisfied with what we're doing as a person. And you can combine all of that and have a great occupation.
It takes some work and commitment. The kind of person that is suited for this is somebody who is willing to get out there and learn and grow. And this program will change the way you do business, but it requires your participation. And if you're willing to do that, then there's a lot of value.
The reward for working in this program is so great that I'm excited every day. It is a thrill for me to be able to help them solve their problem.
Gary's got my respect for life, and I refer him freely and adamantly because he did do that, and he solved my problems.
If you've got so much work that you don't know what to do, you should raise your prices. That means you got to distinguish yourself from your competition. We can help you do that.
My experience with this has made me a firm believer in the fact that you have to get involved in this and make a commitment and purchase the equipment. You're doing some work that no one else, no other contractor either has the knowledge or has the impetus to do. It's definitely financially worthwhile to get involved in this. This equipment enabled me to increase my profitability to the point where my equipment has paid for itself in less than a year.
Contractors get concerned that they've got to get trained to do something new and put all this money out and not get paid in the meantime, and that's not the case here. It's conceivable that somebody could enter this training program, pay for the equipment, and end up doing a job that gave them enough money to retire the debt.
I think contractors that perhaps are considering this program need to look real seriously at what's happening in the industry. More and more homeowners realizing that the cost of living in their home is great enough that they really need to think seriously about how to do something correct. And a contractor is the one that they're going to turn to. And I'm very proud, to be one of the very few contractors at this point, but would definitely encourage anyone that wants to improve their business profitability to get into this thing.